Alright Trailblazers, for those of you who still are confused about Amphoreus, I've decided to recap the entire story for you so you can move into the new year and new content confidently. Welcome to Amphoreus. For part 1, the nameless were guided to the Eternal Land as a location for their next trailblazing expedition, a world that even Akavili, the Aeon of Trailblaze, never reached. They made this choice as the fuel for the Trailblaze was running pretty low, and they needed something big to fill it back up. Almost immediately though, March 7 seemed to come down with an illness and decided not to take part. Himiko, Welt, Sunday, and Black Swan of course decided to stay back and watch over her, while the Trailblazer and Dan Hung proceeded to Amphoreus in a spare train car. This didn't end up very well as the car crash landed, stranding both the Trailblazer and Dan Hung on the planet, unable to contact the Express. Dan Hung and the Trailblazer were introduced to a group of heroes known as the Chrysos Heirs, a group of heroes who believed the only way to save their world and prevent the encroaching Black Tide, a destructive, corrupting force, was to follow a prophecy which was known as the Flame Chase Journey. The prophecy tasked the Chrysos Heirs to defeat the Titans of Amphoreus, claim their core flames, and return to the Vortex of Genesis. Once all the flames had been returned, the core flame of world bearing would grant Amphoreus a new beginning, one without the Black Tide. Due to the Titan of Sky preventing the Nimbus from leaving, the Nimbus were left with no other option, and decided to assist the Chrysos Heirs. Their first target is the core flame of Strife. However, Nikodor, the Titan of Strife, had been fractured at some point in the past, and that meant seeking out Ornyx, the Titan of Time, to help them retrieve it from the past. Upon meeting the Trailblazer, Ornyx uses their power, and within a memory, fully glances at the Trailblazer and unlocks the power of remembrance for them, and manifesting a Memo sprite by the name of Mem to aid them as their partner. With Mem's help and the power of remembrance, they open a portal and are able to go into the past to retrieve a fragment of Nikodor. Now made whole, they engage and defeat the Titan of Strife, returning the core flame to the Vortex of Genesis. Welt and Sunday grew worried about March 7 and the lack of communication, and decide to seek out Herta for some help. Meanwhile, Mighty ascends as the demigod of Strife, after which Casterus, the Trailblazer, and Trian head to the grove to seek out Anaxa concerning the core flame of reason. However, upon arriving, they are met with destruction, as the Black Tide has already arrived at the grove. They are met by Calypso, an avatar of the Reason Titan, Circes, who guides them and tasks them with recovering the fragments of her core flame that she hid across the grove. The final one rests within Anaxa's body, to keep him alive after he nearly died trying to save the scholars of the grove. When they reach the top, they find Anaxa and another figure who is now known as the Flame Reaver. The Flame Reaver quickly attacks them. His strength proves too much for them, and so Trian opens a sentry gate and warps him halfway across Amphoreus, which allows the group to return safely to Akamai.